Hi, guys. So I'm here to help. I have watched reel after short after short, and it is bad. It is bad what some of you are dealing with. It is why I teach what I teach. I saw this train wreck coming, and now it's getting to the point where people are literally starving. They're in so much credit card debt that they cannot pay the balance down because the interest rate is so high, and they are in such bad credit card debt because the economy is so inflated. They are putting their necessities, their light bills, their rent payments, their groceries on these credit cards, and now they're out of credit. Some are 25,000, 30,000. We're going to go through some of these. I can help you. The reason why you are struggling, the reason why that you are drowning is because you are still in an old system. Behind the scenes, there is a system that's building. It's called the digital blockchain. And everyone who is invested in this system and learning this system is not starving. They're not. The great thing about this system is you can take literally $5, turn it into 20, turn it into 30, turn it into 100, turn it into 1,000, turn it into 10,000, turn it into 20 grand. You can snowball this. There is a small window to do so. Once this goes online, it's online and it's too hard to catch up. I want to go through some of these videos. I want to show you my heart is bleeding for you guys. My heart is bleeding, but there is a way out. There is a way out. So let's go through some of these and let's check it out.
In 2 weeks on my neck. So I was told to get certain types of shirts so it wouldn't bother the area. I go to Goodwill. I'm looking at prices $9.99 for used shirts that are of no brand of value at all anywhere. Like maybe it was Target. I don't even know. I probably could go to Target and get it for like brand new for the same price at this point. I don't know. But seriously, how is it that I have just gotten priced out of a thrift store? Not only that, I cannot remember the last time I actually went out and had a meal in a restaurant. We do not order out. We don't even get pizza because we're trying to save everything for 2025 with all of my health stuff. I am so sick of my own fucking... You have no idea. I'm a bad cook. And I am so freaking tired of my own food. But how do people afford to go to a restaurant, sit down, and have a meal? Like, that is a foreign concept to me at this point. And I can't remember the last time I went and saw a movie in a theater. I can't even afford to rent them on demand. I will show you what I do. This is what I do. I have an enormous DVD collection, and this is all I can afford because I will get these at the thrift stores cheap as shit. To be honest with you, I feel like I'm 20 years old again and I'm living pennies to pennies and can't afford.
First of all, you're poor because you're still stuck in the dollar. Number one. Number two, when you're in this kind of situation, you should not be buying even $2 DVDs. Okay. Number three, every spare cent and change and dollar that you have needs to deploy into education on how to learn this new system called the digital blockchain on investing, whether it be cryptocurrencies, real estate investing, any kind of investing, how to multiply the $2 into 4, into 8, into 16. Most of everybody cannot afford to live right now. This is another one.
So I have come to the conclusion in my life that I'm just going to get or an RV and just live my life.
Question: how are you going to get an Airstream or an RV? An Airstream is about $100,000. Maybe a used one, you're still going to pay 20, 30 grand for it. And if you don't have good credit and you don't have any capital, you can't put any money down. RV is the same.
In that shit, because I used to want to like save up and get a house, but like it's so unaffordable. I can barely afford my rent in my apartment. And rent is not going to get no cheaper because all these landlords is going up on their rent just because they can, even in the apartment complexes. So if you thinking you saving some money, I'm just not going to be living with no roommate for the rest of my life. I don't have a roommate right now, but I mean, I don't see no other way to maintain like living. Food prices then went up, gas prices then went up, life then went up. And in some states you can't even, you have so many side bills. Like bills used to just be your rent, your light, your gas, maybe if it's not included. Water used to come with your fucking heat used to come with the apartment. Now all of those things are separate. And also you got, you know, if you work from home, you got to pay for internet. Then you got to pay for your food, you know, if they single and working. So you got to pay for food. You got to pay for your health insurance. You're there. You might want to get some life insurance. It's just like so many bills. Gee, like I just don't even see how it's possible at this point that we still, and then we got taxes.
First of all, I don't remember any time where water was included in any of the rent or mortgages at any time ever. And I'm 42. I don't know what state she lives in. And then also, too, she doesn't want to live with anybody. Unfortunately, in these times, I've been preaching biblical finance for 5-6 years now, teaching the new system that's coming online. I was saying that things are going to get so high and unaffordable, people cannot afford to live. 9-to-5s would not be cutting it. And we are seeing that this has come to pass. Back then, I was saying there's a solution to this. Go ahead and start investing. Go ahead and put your money here, put your money there. Everyone that has followed this ministry for the past 5 years and have been disciplined with the strategies implemented here in this ministry with cryptocurrencies and the digital blockchain are not suffering. They have a surplus. They are able to buy what they want to buy. And sometimes most cases, they have cash to buy it. They're able to pay the bills. But if you're in this situation right now and you are empathizing with what she is saying, there has to come a point where you think to yourself, what I'm doing is not working. And what is happening geopolitically, it's not just an American issue, it's a global issue. It's biblical. I can't get into that here. It's not going to change. It's going to get worse. What is it that I can do? What wisdom is it that I can gain to get myself out of this and then pull others up, which is exactly what we do here at this ministry. It wasn't too long ago that my husband was in a really nasty addiction and we were in poverty status, but I had a word from the Lord that a new system was coming online and I needed to learn it. And that was called digital currencies, the blockchain. I started learning it. I started investing in it and I started teaching other people. And that's what I want to teach you. You don't have to live like this. Okay. You find anything. I don't care if you have to downsize. I don't care if you have to get 4 roommates. I don't care what it takes. Get to a point where you have an extra $100 a month. Just start off with an extra $100 a month. That $100 a month, you're going to invest it. And I have an entire course on how to do that. But in these times, you can't get your coffee. You cannot live by yourself if you can't pay any bills. You can't. These are not options. Something has to change in your habits and in your mindset. You have to sacrifice, shell out, buy for yourself wisdom, the Bible says, until you can get out of the pit. Because if you don't, you're just going to dig further and further and further into the pit. And unfortunately, most people are finding themselves on the street. And even worse, addicted to all kinds of heinous things because they can't cope with life. All right, here's the next one.
I'm 24, but I'm like at the weird age where people are like living at home, figuring out their careers, going to school, getting married, having kids, buying houses, running marathons. But like on the spectrum of things, I think I'm on the running marathons part.
I work at a hospital where they do performance reviews. And normally based on your performance review, you get a raise, right? Well, this year they took that away and they're just like, we're just going to give you all a raise. 22 cents. Okay. Thanks for the 22 cents. It's fine, I guess. We also get 0 bonuses. No bonuses. We don't even get a Christmas party, bro. They're just like, I know we make all this money, but we can't even afford a pizza party for you. But also, like, I'm supposed to be bringing home like over $1,000 each paycheck, but I get garnished for medical bills from the hospital. So I take home like 700 and they take 400 more.
You guys, I can't afford it. I can't afford life. I just can't. It's so hard. It's so expensive. It's so darn expensive to live nowadays. I just can't do it. I don't know how everybody else is doing it. I don't know what kind of money you're making. Where are you guys working? That is normal people. I'm talking about normal people. I'm talking about not influencers, not these crazy high corporate jobs, normal jobs.
I'll tell you, sister, I'll tell you where we're making the money. It is not ever going to be in a normal job. Never. It is through investing. That's how you do it. You get yourself out of the US dollar and you get yourself into assets that are multiplying, compounding, and new technology. It is not too late, guys, to get into this. It is not too late to learn this. In my masterclass, I have 7 hours of teaching. This is why the Lord told me to build this program, because this was coming for everybody. That the 9 to 5s, it was a prophecy I gave 4 years ago, would not cut it. It wouldn't cut it. And that people would be losing. They would be losing their jobs, number one. Employers can't even afford to pay or have their employees. So did you hear the other girl? The other girl said that the employer can't even afford to give anybody individual raises. They cut out bonuses. They can't even have parties, business, gatherings, because they're broke. Everybody is hanging on. The ones who see the new coming, invest in it, are the ones that sail above everybody else. It is not too late. Let's look at other people and more things that they have to say.
What are you guys doing? Because apparently I'm doing something wrong. I can't afford life with my job. I can't afford it. And I can't leave either. So that's that.
I've come to terms with the fact that at this point in my life, I cannot afford friends. I cannot afford brunch every single weekend. I cannot afford concerts every month. I cannot afford 10 birthdays in June. I cannot afford trips to God knows where. I cannot afford it. I can't even imagine being a bridesmaid or being in a wedding right now. That would set me back financially to a point of no return. And it's so funny because sometimes I see these large friend groups and part of me is like, wow, like that is so cool. And that must be really nice. And then reality sets back in and makes me realize like you cannot afford that. And I've seen some people talk about this before, but not enough of how much of a luxury friendship is. It costs a lot of money to maintain and to create new friendships. And I'm in a place where I'm just surviving. The economy is what it is. I don't even know how people are going out. I mean, if I go out one weekend, I have to live like a monk the following weekend. So I really do need to pick my battles wisely these days. And having a lot of friends just is very expensive. And then on top of that, I'm expected to date.
Guys, listen. It doesn't have to be this hard. It doesn't have to be this hard. That is not your portion, to be isolated, to not go out, to never go anywhere. It is bondage. You are not free. You are a slave. And this system was built to keep us enslaved. And work your 9 to 5 while we increase all the prices. This is not a Trump issue. It's not. This was long planned out before the man even got into office. In fact, with all the tariffs, whether you agree with me or not, and this is not a salvation issue, so you don't have to agree with me, but I'm telling you, I'm not suffering. This family is not suffering. This family is going on trips. This family is buying airfare. This family has absolute freedom because of what the Lord told us to do and where to put our money outside of the US dollar. I'm telling you, I teach it and it works. This is a global issue. This is a revelation issue. This is a biblical issue. This issue Trump is trying to correct because America is broke. It's broke. It has been sucked and bled dry. All of the stimulus money that came in from the pandemic, because it was planned, caused massive hyperinflation. And on top of that, other countries were sucking us dry. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't even matter if you agree with me. I'm telling you, what the Lord has told us to do is working. It is His plan. I implore you to buy for yourself wisdom, to invest in yourself. Stop putting money into debt and systems that is sucking you, and you can constantly, like the other girl said, she shows up to her job, she can't leave, but yet she can't afford to live. This is bondage. You might as well be in a penitentiary or a prison with bars. There is no difference. On top of this, some of you are in high credit card debt. Let's look at some of these testimonies.
So yesterday I sold my wedding ring and I drained our savings so that we can have the money to file bankruptcy. Here's the money to be able to file. I'm here now waiting for my appointment at 10. We've been debating on doing this for a while, but today's the day we're actually going to do it. And it's going to be 2 to 3 weeks before we sign and everything's a done deal. But we thought long and hard about this, and we feel like that's the only way that we can get some relief. My husband's not very happy about the fact that I sold my ring, but we needed the money quick, and I wanted to be able to pay in full today. But he's not happy with me, and he's also not happy that the savings, we have no more savings now. It's gone. We're going to be doing a Chapter 7, and so we're going to keep the house and car, but like the credit cards, all of that will be discharged. And it's kind of giving us a fresh start, which is what we need, because I have been stressing out of my mind over the amount of bills and debt that we have.
My mind, guys, is that she's willing to take all of that cash that could be invested into a cryptocurrency where she could 1,000x her investment and not have to file bankruptcy and wipe out a lot of their issues. But they choose to take what they have, file for bankruptcy. Let me tell you this. Sean and I have filed for bankruptcy before. We filed for bankruptcy 10 years ago back in his addiction, and we had minimal credit card debt. But the fact that we had absolutely no money, he had burned through everything. It was an awful situation that we really had to walk through with the Lord, and the Lord gave us strategy. But we literally were trying to liquidate maybe $15,000, $20,000 in debt. It really wasn't a lot. It ruined us for 7 years. We couldn't get cars. We couldn't get a house. We couldn't do any of these things. And there is a simple solution to it. It is called investing in the right market, investing in the market that is coming online, that pretty soon every single one around the globe will be forced to use it. But the ones who got in before it's forced to be used will be multimillionaires, some even billionaires. How does that sound to you? That's called generational wealth. Let's listen to the other story.
Normal person with a normal job in this ass economy that can't afford anything these days except your bare necessities, then you've slacked on paying some of your bills. And that's okay. This is a no judgment zone because I haven't paid all my bills either. And I'm really slacking, especially on my credit card bills. And I'm going to keep it real. I don't give a about shit I bought last year or 6 months ago or when I swiped the credit card. I don't fucking care. Thanks for letting me have that stuff. I don't have the money to pay you back right now. So I used to be really religious with this. Like I would send a set amount of money each month and just auto pay the credit card so it would keep my balance down, so that I didn't fall behind. Well, about 7 months ago, I took it off auto pay. And for about 6 months religiously now, like every day, multiple times a day, they're calling to get their money. We all got a job to do. And I know that you're tired the other day. My car hooks to my phone. So if you hit a button on the steering wheel, then it automatically answers. And it was Teresa from, Credit One or Capital, one of those that I have. And she goes, "Hi, this is Teresa, and I'm calling for Brandy. I'm from the credit card service." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to answer this phone call. Like, I'm really sorry about that. I don't have your money. Like, that's why I don't answer the phone or the emails that you sent me." And this biz, well, we're like 2 steps away from sending you to collections, and that's really going to affect your credit. Teresa, do you not know that also not paying your credit card bill plummets your take my credit score out back and fucking put it out of its misery, Teresa? Do you also realize that right now my credit score means absolute to me? Like, do I look like I'm buying a house? Do I look like I'm buying a car?
Okay, first of all, I understand her anger. Second of all, this is not a strategy. Absolutely not a strategy. Credit card kills people. We all know that. And during the times where things were plenty and people had this surplus, they were racking up all of this stuff. But we always reap what we sow. Always reap what we sow. And because of the inflation and because things are getting higher, I had given a prophecy as well and said, the further we get into to 2030 and beyond, it'll get harder and harder and harder to crawl out of the pit. Pit of what? Of poverty, of lack. If you're charging things on credit cards, you're already in lack. The only time that you need a credit card is when you are traveling and you need to rent a car or you need to rent a hotel, because those type of charges usually only offer or usually only take credit cards. Other than that, you do not ever need a credit card. Most people are not using that for that reason, though. And so now we find ourselves in a situation where food prices are sky high. People can't afford gas. They can't afford insurance. They can't afford to live life like we've played the last few videos. And now everyone's giving up. The F-bombs are dropping, the cursing is dropping, but not one time have I heard anybody say, I've got to strategize my way out of this. I have to buy for myself wisdom. I have to buy a course. I don't have money to buy a course. This is what all of them say. You cannot afford not to. You cannot afford not to go and buy yourself a course that teaches you how to get out of this, because what is happening is there's no financial education, number one. Number two, there's no financial education on the new system. The dollar is dying, and everyone that chose to stay in the dollar is in this situation. Seems like a lot of them are the millennials or younger, but there's also a lot of people my age, millennial, higher end millennials, that are in the same boat. They cannot make it because they were depending on their 9-to-5s when things were somewhat okay. When I was out there screaming, this is going to get worse. This is going to get worse. Put your money where it is Put your money where it is soaring. It is growing. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. Let's continue.
Cards, even though I'm $48,000 still in debt, 109 overall.
109.
The person says that every card is over limit and I'm paying late fees. Well, there's a very specific reason for that. And it's because I'm paying off a 327% loan.
320.
Tying up $650 a month for me. And that loan, if I can get it paid by next Friday, will actually end up saving me about $250 a month in interest. You heard that correct.
Okay, if you are that much in debt and your interest is that high, you should have no car and you should be moving back in with your parents, and you should be using that money to invest. $5 coffee, get rid of it, invest. $2 cheeseburger, get rid of it, invest. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and peanuts. Guys, this is what has to be done. It has to be done. There is no way that you can get ahead. Yes, it's criminal. It is criminal what credit card companies are doing, but you signed on the dotted line because we've made the same mistakes. You need wisdom. Pray for wisdom, number one, and then buy yourself wisdom, number two. Let's continue.
Over $20,000 balance right now. In April 2024, I paid $430.29 in interest. In May, I paid $416.24. In June, I paid $425.26. July, I paid $407.32. August, I paid $423.38. September, I paid $428.33. October, I paid $401.23. November, I paid $415.81. December, I paid $329.20. January, I paid $410.64. February, I paid $409.26. Finally, last month, I paid $367.51. That is my lowest interest in the past 365 days, bringing our grand total of $4,505.09 paid in interest on my Bank of America card.
There's just no words to where people are right now. There's no words, and it's so unnecessary. We can't go back. If you're in this situation, you can't go back and undo what has been done, but you can stop the bleeding, and you can do it now. That $4,500 could have gone into investments, into cryptocurrencies, and she could be in six figures right now had she put that money for the last 6 months into cryptocurrencies. Lauren, are you telling me not to pay my credit card bill? What I'm telling you to do is act on wisdom, and you're funneling money into something that you're never, ever going to get out of because there's no surplus coming in. What you need to do, each one of you, if you're in this bad of credit card debt, is you need to call your credit card companies and see if you can negotiate a percentage and just pay that minimally, just to keep you somewhat current. Then on top of that, you have to find something in your house to sell, whether you need to get roommates, whether you need to downsize, whether you need to sell your car, whether you need to have an estate sale and just go down to your mattress and just 3 clothes and your toothbrush and your refrigerator. You have to make these decisions, because if you don't start investing and you're throwing all of your money into bad decisions of seeds that have now grown because they're weeds, because you sowed bad seeds in the past with your money. Now those seeds have grown, and guess what? It's not fruit, it's weeds. And those weeds and those thorns are strangling you. You have now become a slave. You then at this point buy yourself the material that teaches you how to get out of this. My masterclass is 7 hours and massive reviews on all of the thank yous, and I've made so much money, and thank you for teaching me this. You will surpass all of your family, all of your friends, and you won't be one of the people making these videos. I'm telling you guys, there is a small window of time, and this is exploding. A wealth transfer is coming in for God's people. I suggest that you learn to seek and hear him. Number 1. Number 2, buy for yourself wisdom. Number 3, stop the bleeding. Follow me. I can help you. I do this. I preach the gospel. And for some reason, the Lord put a mantle on my life to teach biblical finance, to get people out and ahead of what's coming. And what's coming is the beast system. And the beast system enslaves people economically. And it's already happening to a lot of you. And it's unnecessary. The mark of the beast is not even mandatory yet. And all of you have willfully walked yourself in and allowed them to put chains on you. Enough is enough. If you use my coupon code 150 OFF, 150 off in the coupon code at the link I provided in the description, you will get 150 off the class. But the class only works if you work it. At the end of the class, I give you the opportunity, if you need more coaching, to be coached by me with a class every week on Tuesday in Patreon. We go through the markets, we go through what to buy and sell, we go through all the things. And when you are ready to fly on your own, I send you off, and I just ask that you go teach and train somebody else, lift somebody else out of the pit. You need help, I can help. Why be in this way? Why be in slavery? I said it was coming, it is now here, and so many are suffering. Stop it. Buy for yourself the wisdom. See you guys.